G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur Hippie here. Let's hope my PC doesn't crap itself for a little while. How you all going? How you all going? Going through the winter desert of international duty. Thought I'd do a stream, just talk about what Harry Kane said, Harry Kane's comments. I did a bit of a video on it yesterday, but I just want to have a chat with people, see what you all thought. I'll get the, let me see if I can get the quotes up so we know what we're talking about here. Yeah, and as usual, if there's anything else you want to talk about, that's all super cool as well. But that's where, you know, that was where I wanted to get off my chest. I did a video yesterday, got a bit off my chest. Short story is I'm not impressed with what he said. It was unnecessary, and you know, he's part of the problem, perhaps. It's turning out to be. Okay, let me have a look at this. Okay, let me just bring this up for you. Here we go. Doopy-doop-doop-doo. Oh. God, I'm useless at this, man. Here we go. Here we go. So, and as usual, I didn't get a glass of water, so I'll see how long we go, eh? So speaking in a press conference, he said it's definitely a different pressure compared to what I felt at Spurs. Actually, this is I've only listened to him, so you know this is interesting for me. What I felt at Spurs. Of course, we wanted to win things at Spurs, but if you went a couple of games without winning, then it wasn't a disaster. The feeling of Bayern is that you have to win every game. We won the first two games 4-0 and 3-0, 3-1, 4-0 and 3-1, and there's still talk about not being too happy about the way we played. That's part and parcel of being at one of the biggest clubs in the world. But we've had a good start, and I'm enjoying feeling those different emotions, and that's part of the reason I wanted to go. And we start the Champions League campaign when we get back, which they can expect to win. Dude. Or have a good chance of winning. So you're going into those games with maybe a different feeling to what I've had in the past. Hang on, he said more than that. I believe he also said a top club mentality or something like that. So, yeah, I've got many issues with this. Let me have a look. It's definitely a different pressure compared to what I felt at Spurs. Well, where is this? See, this is something I see a lot in everyday life as well. You know, human beings, God bless them, we don't half love to reify, like make abstract concepts real. So when you say something like what I felt at Spurs, the way it was at Spurs, it wasn't a disaster at Spurs. Who do you mean? Who do you mean? You know, these things sort of stand out in my head a lot because, you know, when I used to work in the corporate world, you'd hear all the time, "Oh, the business wants it done by this," and I'd say, "Well, who?" Because then I can have a chat with them, can't I? "Oh, it's the business." It's like, what? Bullshit. So I don't like it when, you know, it's too vague for me. Because to me, right? Because I think the biggest part of the football club, if you listen to any manager and any player, they all say this. Whether they believe it or not, I've got to scratch my head sometimes. But the biggest part of a club is the fans. So if you're saying the feeling at Spurs and at Tottenham it wasn't a disaster, I take that personally. I can't help it. I do. Especially when you're one of the people. And what can I can cheer and clap. I'm in Sydney, so it's going to have even less of. It's getting like I wouldn't rule it out having a slight effect, but no effect. Even if you're there in the stadium, little effect. You're on the pitch, mate. You're on the pitch. So if there was this feeling around, you, especially as being bloody captain, could have done something about it or tried to do something about it. And if you try and do something about it, even if you fail, right, you're not going to say that. You're not going to say that. If you really gave it a go to change that mentality or whatever the hell he's talking about, and you failed in changing that, but you gave it a good go, I don't think if you cared that much about a situation, you'd come out then afterwards and say that and blame every, don't know. Well, look, I wasn't impressed. And like this was a guy, I thought it was a mistake to sell him and all that. I was one of those people. I knew we'd be all right without him, but I thought, you don't want to sell your best player. Damn, bugger that, man. Glad he's gone. We're playing better football. He had no reason to say this. No reason to pull this out of the bag. He wasn't asked about Tottenham. He was asked about Bayern. So I'm not happy about it, man. I'm not happy about it. Obviously I'm expressing myself, I'm not like sitting here like this going, all the time. I'm trying to be entertaining as well. But I'm trying to express how I bloody feel when I think about it, And it's not cool at all. And yeah, all right, going one of the biggest clubs in the world is all well and good. What difference are you going to make to them now? There's entitlement creeping into his speech. When he's talking about basically winning the Champions League, and I heard him basically winning about the Euros for England. Well, you've won fuck all, mate. What you changed? This winning mentality's coming about, is it? Well, it wasn't there in semi-finals and finals for Tottenham, mate. I mean, I always thought that, you get in the mix enough times and they start to drop. But with comments like this, I'm thinking, no. It is, when we talk about the likes of Hugo Lloris, Eric Dyer, go back to Harry Winks, it's Harry Kane as well. I'm kind of, when I'm really sort of expressing myself unrealistically, I'm like disappointed, let down, pissed off. And it's like, well, good luck on your Bundesliga. But, there's a sense of entitlement coming out there. And I said in my video yesterday, you contrast this to how Ange Postecoglou talks about his previous employments. Many would say, especially in England, because I heard it all from bloody all the pundits and journos, he's only managed Brisbane Roar and that's not the way Ange Postecoglou sees it. He sees it as everything was important and he did the best he could everywhere he went. He didn't go, there wasn't a winning mentality at White Sea Zebras. You don't hear him say that. So I don't know, man. Harry Kane, big thumbs down, man. Thumbs down. And wouldn't it be so sweet if we drop an FA Cup this year? That'd be so cool, man. Spurs. It wasn't a disaster. It was a disaster for us, mate. And we're the club. So I don't know what you're on about. Who? What? Is the kit man? Is it some manager? Is it a group of players? Is it Enoch and Daniel Levy? What? What are you talking about, mate? I think you're just projecting, man, because I think it's you. You just got into a rut of not winning anything at Tottenham. And maybe you needed to go to Bayern to reignite some of that flame or something because you couldn't reignite it at Tottenham yourself. Or it just wasn't doing it for you anymore. But you don't go another club and then start shitting on us. Anyway, look, you know what? Calm down now. Here we go. Let's see what you lot think. See what you lot think. And like I've had a so you know what have I looked at for reaction for this? I had a look at replies to some of the big tweet things that had fired it, and I'm you know, it looks like a lot of people, you know, some people are saying he's still a legend and all that, which I've, you know, when people say he's our best ever player, I don't think I've ever said that. I say he shows flashes of being something like Glenn Hoddle, but it's flashes, man. Glenn Hoddle was Glenn Hoddle, wasn't he? So, you know, for me, he's not the best player. I'm saying he's very, very good, you know. But there were big moments when I've seen other players step up. Paul Gascoigne taking a free kick against Arsenal, you know, that sort of thing. Didn't get that from Harry Kane. Yeah, maybe I'm getting tribal, man. I just get tribal. I'm getting tribal. It's you know, you shit on Tottenham and then I start shitting on you. You know, that human. Anyway, so let's see what you lot think. What else did I look at? I was on a stream with Perchy last night. They all, you know, turned into one of those big argue fests. So I left that one. And I saw a bit of I saw yeah, actually Sean Spurs Talk Show did a video on it, and I kind of agree with what he's saying. I think he said some of the same things that, you know, actually something I like the way Sean signed off his video. He kind of said, if you don't win a Champions League at Bayern Munich, then you've made no difference to them because they're going to win the Bundesliga anyway. And I thought he put it in a nice way, and I thought it was a nice little parting shot from Sean. So nice one, Sean. What else was I saying? That's about it, really. So it doesn't seem to have. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making a bigger thing than it is because I haven't seen. You know, I would have thought this sort of thing be like clickbait all over the place. Like even when I did a video yesterday and I looked at it, it's got about 1,000 views, which is all right. But some of my videos are getting more than that. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should have called it Harry Kane takes a dump on Spurs, like clickbait like that. But, you know, I don't quite feel that badly about, you know, not like that. Anyway, let's we're going to relax today. I see there's a few comments in there, which is cool. And, you know, a bit of shameless marketing. Here we go. Let's just do that. Switch that on at the bottom. Adjust the vertical hold on your TV screen if you don't want to see it. It's a blast from the past, eh? The old vertical hold. And don't tell me my audio is not bloody. Hang on. Hello? Hello? That would have. I don't think I've got the energy to do that again. I just say, I just come out and be like I'm reading from a script. What's all this shit here? It's my comfort blanket because it gets cold here sometimes. But I've got a hippie blanket as well. All right, let's see what the chat's making of all this. Super chats and well, whatever's available, memberships if you want to support the channel, i.e. me, because I'm not going to do what Harry Kane says, say Spurs. I'm going to say me. This channel isn't a real thing. It's me. If you're doing a super chat or a membership, you are in fact, in reality, giving me money, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. Sounds shameless when you put it like that, though. I don't think people say that. Say, oh, if you want to support the channel, check it, you know. But channel's me, isn't it? It's my money. So I bet if I keep saying that, though, I'll get less money than anyone else because it's like, oh, I'm giving you money. All right, I'll give the channel some money then. All right, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see what we've got. We've got a few people in. Hi, all folks. Nice to have you here this evening or this morning. Aaron Quinn, hit me with your Yiddo stick. Yes, man. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. That was one of the first songs that really grabbed me. You know. I think I would have been about maybe 4 years old, something like that. And that was like the first like big number one, or what is it, number one or number two pop song that really grabbed me. I loved that. So Ian Jury, loved him. What's on the menu tonight? Well, it's breakfast. So I've had just coffee so far. I thought I'd do a stream and then I'd go out and get some food. Mark Cavill, not football, rugby. Not sure that one. Moondog, got your hammer ready, Paul? Yeah, I have. But it seems to be calm so far. This is what happens. It's weird. It was when it crashes, then it will just like crash the rest of the day and maybe the next day every like 5 minutes, and then I'll leave it off for a bit, and then it'll be fine for a few weeks. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't care. It'll do. I don't want to fix it. I don't want advice on fixing it. Aaron Quinn. Aaron Quinn. Whose name is Harry Kane? Yeah, who? Don't know. Yeah, here we go. This is the stuff. GM4 Harry who? Yes, man. Yes, man. Moondog. All right, let's see what Moondog says. Kane has every right to say it hurt why Spurs toiled, but it also hurt when he failed to show up in the 4 finals. 5, including England's final in the Euros. So it goes both ways. Yeah, I made that point yesterday, man. Right? I said, well, what happened in the semi-finals for England, mate? Was that Tottenham holding you back? You know? Don't know, man. It does go both ways. Like if Harry just kept his gob shut, that's it. But he's poked the bear, hit the bar. Just gonna pit that Moondog. If he would have turned up at finals, we would have won something. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of. I don't know if asking for these comments is the right word, but this is what's going to happen, isn't it? It's like because it has been a common thing. He hasn't shown up for the big games, and I've kind of cut him some slack and thought, well, we just need more opportunities to do that, Aha! Stereo. There you go. There's my PC just hung there. So give the camera a wipe. I'm going to plan B. I'll just turn my PC off. Hang on a minute. All right, and you know what? I'm going to grab a glass of water. Here we go. Professional streamer. I did need that hammer in the end, Moondog. Tempted fate, and it just went. But that's why I thought I'd do streaming on this thing instead of the thing with the colours, because I can easily come in on a phone and carry on. Even though it's a bit lo-fi, I can't like share my screen and things like that. I don't think so. So look. No, so I can't add pictures and things like that, which is a bit of a pain if I want to. But never mind. So let's see where I am on the comments. So Stephen Cartwright, here we go. Harry was simply implying that there was a lack of ambition, and we all know that filters down from our owners, who are in it for the profit. I think that is a fair comment. But then why not say that? If you just say Tottenham Hotspur, then you're saying the owners, the managers, the players, the fans, all the staff, everything. So it's something I have a real problem with, is when people generalize and say things about like companies or corporations or things, when these things are not autonomous beings. They don't have free will, conscience and action, do they? They're run by people. So who are we talking about, Harry? If you're not going to say what the problem is, just keep your mouth shut, because as far as I'm concerned, you're part of the problem. Lack of ambition. Harry Kane's on the pitch, man. Harry Kane's on the pitch. I'm not. Daniel Levy, and look, I'm not sticking up for Daniel Levy, and I do take your point, that if, it's a bloody awful culture at a place, you're not going to perform the best or whatever. Well, one, you did sign a 6-year contract under those circumstances. Why'd you do that, Harry? And also, you're a professional footballer, mate. Professional footballer. Isn't like one of the whole ideas of professional sport, you go out and try and win. Don't know, man. Mark Cavill, Harry Kane could have a villa in Spain, but he's stuck in Bavaria, freezing his bollocks off. Bye, Harry. Yeah, that's true, man. I didn't think of that, actually. If he'd have waited one more year, he could have had his pick. Oh, well. Enjoy the Steins, Harry. Mark Cavill, Harry knew Levy had him by the bollocks, but he put his own bollocks in the vice, didn't he? Him and his brother, 6-year contract, Like if Tottenham was that bad, right? Which I'm not saying, So what? So he had a year left on his contract. So we're talking about 2003, 2018. He renewed his contract, or 2017 maybe. So Levy'd been there ages then as well. So I don't buy that one. If you had him by the bollocks, don't get your brother to be your agent, mate. That's just silly. And look, I'll tell you what, man, we must have done something right as a club to make him one of the best strikers in the world. We can't have been total dog shit, total crap, total rubbish coaching. Right, Kane probably regretting the move. Well, he might well end up, but we're playing better without him, aren't we? Truth be told, we're playing better without him. Aaron Quinn, lack of ambition going to a club that wins everything all the time. I know. Where's the ambition in that? Was it Bayern have won the Bundesliga every year for the last 20 years or something? Like something incredible. They must be. I know St George have got some sort of record here, winning 11 premierships on the road, but Bayern have beaten that. They've got like 20 in a row or something. They're always going to win it. So where's the ambition there? Ellie, yes, man. I'm going to take my hat off and put it on. There we go. Your Highness. Hey, Paul. I think Harry should have. Should have played not to lose in our Champions League final, as he was unfit. Yes, and he lessened our chances because we were playing with 10 men. Yeah. What a club man, eh? Team first. I want to play. Which, look, I totally get that, I guess. But he lost us the final, didn't he, really? Say that. Hit the bar, 100%, Paul. No one asked him about Spurs, so he had no reason to comment about Spurs. Yeah. How are you enjoying life at Bayern, mate? Oh, it's great, nice culture. We're having to do some things this year. I fitted in. Da-da-da-da-da. Easy. Oh, no, it's better than bloody Tottenham. Oh, Tottenham. Didn't matter if you won. Yeah, it did. It actually did. I don't know how he could not think that, White light. Ange brought feel-good factor. Tuchel miserable. Yeah, I reckon you're right on that, man. It was when, especially when, remember that when we played Chelsea last year and Tuchel went all stroppy on Conte. I just thought, oh no, Tuchel, you're just an idiot. You're a bit of a, you're a bit tapped in the head in not a very good way. So I was so glad that we didn't get him as a manager. Really, I would have stomached Darney's slot. But Ange was always my number one, man. Caption Grandma, g'day, man. Another member of the Hotspur hippie commune. G'day, Paul, one and all. Harry Kane needs to keep stum about Spurs because it will backfire. I know. It's not rocket science, is it, man? You don't hear let me see, Steve Archibald, right? Steve Archibald left Spurs. Was it 84 he left Spurs? Had a big fallout with Keith Birkinshaw. Keith Birkinshaw basically accused him of cheating. Steve Archibald says he had an injury and had to leave the pitch, and Keith Birkinshaw kind of thought he bottled and cheated it. Never made up, or animosity ever since. They've never talked it through. Steve Archibald, even leaving Spurs under those circumstances to go to Barcelona, you know, and do really well over there and be loved by Barcelona fans. You never see him slagging off Spurs. Never. He always talks about the great times he had there, the wins he had there, the matches, you know. So even a guy that was kind of booted out by the manager under really bad circumstances, he doesn't say, "Oh, Tottenham sucks." So piss off, Harry. Steve Archibald was a better player than you, mate. Throw that one out there. Ellie, go for it, Paul. You sack it to Harry. Was a disaster for us that we didn't win anything. Yeah, it was. Harry Kane was one of the 11 players. So he's at least 10% culpable, isn't he? It's all right. Morning, Paul. And if he's another no slow news day. Hey, yeah, look, it is really. But the Harry Kane thing got me going, man. Got me going. I was just like, what are you saying this for? You know, it's like you know, your ex is with someone new, and like you both moved on, and then you see her do a tweet. Oh, my new boyfriend's so great. My old one, Paul, he was crap in the sack. It's like, oh, I knew it was over, and I was moving on and everything, but what? Kane speaking the truth. Jamie Git says, but about who, man? Who? Specifically, who? Even though a bit hypocritical, failing to show up at least at biggest games. He was having a dig at Levy after being Levy for so long. Well, say it. Say the ownership then. Don't say Tottenham Hotspur. If you're just going to say, if you've got not going to be any more specific than just saying Tottenham Hotspur or Spurs, keep your mouth shut, because I want to know who you're talking about. You know, it was it wasn't a disaster at Tottenham to lose a couple of games. Where'd you get that from, mate? Was it you and Eric Dyer and Hugo Lloris? You didn't really give a shit. Fans certainly gave a shit. Was it the manager? Was it a particular manager? You know, was it Conte or was it Mourinho or what? Was it all the managers? Or was it the ownership? Was it Daniel Levy and Donald Cullen? Was it them saying, "Don't worry about not winning" or whatever? Who? Ellie Hoddle was a winner in every series. There you go. I mean, you just far out, man. You just said it there, haven't you? You know, the players that we've had that win. Ricky Villa, you know, Osvaldo Odiles. You know, maybe we have got some of that mentality in the club. We've got Romero for a start. He's won a World Cup. Well, Hugo won a World Cup. Goalkeeper don't count. Yeah, it does, man. Hoddle was a winner in every sense of the word, and so was Greaves. So was Perryman, man. Our most decorated player. 6 cups. 6 cups, man. 2 UEFA, 2 League, 2 FA Cup. It's not a bad haul, is it? Harry Kane hasn't been there 17 years, so over 10 years, Perryman would have only got like, you know, 3 or 4 trophies. Let's face it. Moondog, I would pick Greaves every day of the week over Kane. Yeah, oh yeah, God, I would as well. I'd pick Clive Allen sometimes, you know. I as a striker, let me think. I'm just trying to think of strikers that would come, you know, close to Kane. I mean, look, I'm not, you know, because some of these I haven't seen enough of, but you know, as partnerships go, Crooks and Archibald are as good as Son and Kane. Lone strikers, I'm just trying to think. Well, you know, Sheringham was a damn good player. He did it all right, didn't he? Didn't win anything at Spurs. Went to Man United, won everything, and came back. Didn't have to take a dump on us. Just went and won his trophies and came back. Great player. Jurgen Klinsmann was pretty good, wasn't he? Steady as sharp. There were no sound issues from what I could tell. Oh, yeah, okay. No. It's all right. I was just checking, man. It's all right. Mark Hamill, there's hundreds of footballers who have won the Championship League, but to win the top scorer in the Premier League is gold dust. Yeah, look, I'm not saying that's not an achievement for sure. Of course, it's an achievement. Yeah. Mountain Bushbush, Stema, Evanista. Moondog Hammer, yeah, you're back. Okay, here we go. Stop hammer time. Yeah. Hit the bar. Just remember, Harry, we was the people singing, "You're one of our own." Yeah, obviously weren't. Yeah, I mean, this is the way people are feeling, you know. Oh, yes, the duality of hippie. There we go. Backs to the wall. There we go. Morning, Paul. Nice sunny Sunday. Yes, it certainly is, man. Time to forget about Kane. Got better things to talk about and look forward to. Cheers and come on, you Spurs. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not lying awake at night at this time, but as someone who puts things on YouTube, I think this is something interesting to talk about. I find it interesting. It's just the way it is. When football comes back, I'll talk about that. But there's nothing you can talk about. I can't come on a stream and just sit here and do that, man. So I want to talk about this. Unless anyone's got any tangents or want to go off on a different track, you know, that's cool. Derek Smith, are we just going to talk about a player who doesn't play for Tottenham Hotspur? You can talk about what you want, but that's what what, dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's all right. We don't need any technical wizardry, Paul. Just yarning about Tottenham and Tange is good enough. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Harry Kane scathing, put down like it wasn't his fault. No responsibility on his shoulders. Then come on, Harry, get real. I know. Wouldn't you feel a little? Oh, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know. I just. Peter M. Good freeze, Paul. We'll stop talking about Kane once the Premier League restarts. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just filler, isn't it? It's filler. It's like I call all of my streams, my live streams during the off season filler. So this is all it is. It's just filler. You know, if we'd played a game last night, I'd be talking about that. But I think this is worthy of discussion. And if you don't want to talk about it, then you don't have to, man. You know, that's all right. The England performance tonight was poor. I didn't watch the game. I just I had a quick look at the result this morning. Was poor, and although Kane made the equaliser, he floated through the game like in our key games. Yeah. Well, you know, maybe England don't. You know, maybe it's all right if you're playing for England and you can just lose a couple of games. It's not a disaster, Harry. Maybe that's the way England is. But, you know, maybe you might want to play for I don't know, some country who's probably got some lax rules over that, but you won't win anything there either. But yeah, where's England's winning mentality, man? You know, we ain't winning anything as long as we've got Southgate in the team. That's the way it is. Peter M. If Tim Sherwood hadn't played him, he would have been sold to Leicester, where he would have been Jamie Vardy's understudy. Spurs, man. Well, look, look, I get what you're saying here as well. You know, we did. That's what I can't said it the same in other ways, but you're right. We did create a player here, didn't we? You know, okay, you can have all the talent and all that, but you know, if you don't have opportunities, if the doors aren't open, then you ain't going to make it, are you? I probably a crap example. I use Ange Postecoglou as an example. I think he genuinely is one of the best football coaches in the world because he was in Australia for all that time. Doors just aren't open. He made it in the end. Doors just aren't open. But yeah, you know, Harry Kane might have gone to Norwich. So Mark Hamill, fucking freezing in the hills of Bavaria. Can I come home, please? Yeah, no way, man. No way. Hit the bar, Crooks and Archibald at front too. Yeah, you didn't see them like floating through games. Archibald, that'd be hilarious if Steve Archibald was in a YouTube chat. We'll take more care of you, Archibald, Archibald. Mark, it's weird as our songs come up. I don't know where that one came from. Peter Slupek. Hello from Canada. Hello from Australia, man. Steady as shark. Big Ange has alluded to the idea that Kane will return in the future. Maybe he had talks with him. It would explain why he's too scared to mention the ownership directly. Well, don't mention the club. Because, okay, you've kept your powder dry with Daniel Levy. You've pissed a lot of fans off. White Light, Kane upset Spurs playing well with it. I mean, it's possible. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd love to win. I always want to win something anyway. But I'd love to win something for dirty motives now. Just to shove it up him, basically. Lily White Lane, be up, Paul. Great to meet you earlier today. Yeah, man. Yeah. Be on the show with you for the first time. Big up, all in the chat. Yeah, I had a couple of technicals issues on Perch's thing yesterday, and then by the time I got them sorted out and I came back, then it was all like and I thought it's not my scene, man. But I watched it a bit further. I just don't like taking part in that sort of stuff. I'm a coward. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Mike Zabba. It all starts at the top. The owner set the tone which permeates the club. I agree. I'm sure everyone will agree that Levy is only interested in bottom line. Yep. Imagine if we had Abramovich and said, well, I don't really want a war criminal either, mate, But yeah, it all starts at the top. But it doesn't make you not responsible at all as a player. Berbatov and Kane, yeah, man, yeah. I mean, Robbie Keane, was he? Oh man, I don't think that guy ever floated through a training session, let alone anything else. My lord, when you talk about mentality, Robbie Keane, man, Robbie Keane, Sheringham and Klinsmann, yeah, there we go, and Berbatov, yep. Mr. M, how you? I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm chilling out, having a special musical cigarette. That's very nice to hear, man. I hope it goes down well for you. Jamie Gitt, Kane definitely picked the wrong time to leave. He should have left before Jose or Conte, not when there is a revival of Tadaris to do. Yeah, look, I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know if he could have, because he was under contract, but he certainly could have had wiser. When was he now? 30, 31? So he would have been 26. Not a kid. Not a kid when you sign a 6-year contract. That's kind of one of those contracts you sign that, I suppose, maybe even if you think you're going to go 35 or older, that's like the rest of your peak career, isn't it? Steve Sharp, I'm grateful that we didn't have some oligarcho. Yeah, look, I don't want a war criminal. No. Someone that basically stole a utility from a country. I mean, that's what Abramovich did and all that lot. They stole. I don't know what the gas industry. I'll have that. Thank you very much. I'll have energy. Yeah, I'll just have energy. That'll be mine. As bad as Levy is, yeah. That's right. I mean, look, all rich people. None of them are good in my book. No such thing as a good billionaire. Richie B, good day, Paul. Always a pleasure. Hello, man. What's your thoughts on Gareth Southgate as an England manager? I'm not impressed. He's conservative. I don't think he's a. Look. The vibe I get from him is just bland corporate puppet. Yes, man. The FA's got a track record of picking shit managers, and he's just another one of them. Not all the managers they've picked have been shit, but a lot have. The real problem, the first time I had a real big problem with Gareth Southgate was in the 2018 World Cup, and we were doing well. And then the way the draw was working out, the way the draw was falling out was, I think our last game was against Belgium in the group stage. But if we finished top of our group, then the next few games would have been harder. We would have had a harder run to the finals, just the way things panned out. But if we drew or lost to Belgium, we finished second in the group. On paper, we would have an easier run. And that to me is unacceptable. You know, when people are slanging off Ange for playing out a second string team, that's exactly what Gareth Southgate did. Played second string team with a view to finishing second in the table, and I just lost all respect for him, because you go out and win every game at the World Cup. Sooner or later, you've got to play the world's best teams, and it's one of those tournaments, man. I can't remember a team, all the World Cups I can remember since '78. I can't remember a team fluking winning a World Cup. It's always the best team that wins the World Cup. Euros, there's a couple of arguments to say sometimes. A team can have a bit. I mean, it's obviously the best team that wins, but you know what I mean. Like when the World Cup, it's like, yeah, they were the best team, by far, usually. So I'm not impressed with Gareth Southgate. I mean, how the hell he's picking Maguire, who's not getting game time? It's just ridiculous, isn't it? And he picked Eric Dyer. So how can Gareth Southgate understand football? So no, crap. Richie B, 2 thumbs up, Mr. M. Oh, sorry, if you need a positive subject, okay, love to hear your thoughts. Oh, you cock. Oh dear. Okay, sorry. If you need a positive subject to talk about, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Broncos. If they slip up in the finals, no one could say they didn't leave it all out on the pitch this season. Okay, look, all right. It's not my team, so that's why I'm obviously going to say you're a cock for bringing that up. But no, every time I've watched them, I'm not a huge avid rugby league follower. I'll watch games with St George a fair bit, and I'll watch the other game. But I know whenever I've seen the Broncos, they've looked absolutely awesome. And if they don't win it this year, well, look, we'll see what happens in the finals. I think they've got a really good shot. I can't see them. If they lose, they're it's gonna be to a team that's played better on the day, and it's cliche, but no, they've been clicking along. They've been humming. I've actually enjoyed watching them play. Derek Smith, I watched the England match from the 86th minute. Okay, boring football. Well, the last 4 minutes. Hang on. Maybe you watched it too, the 86th minute. If you watched you watched the last 4 minutes. I don't understand, man. Boring football. Turned it off. There's only so much of Maguire. Oh, they were on the pitch. I can't look at it now. They were on the starting lineup. Obviously, less than 7 minutes. Okay, right, man. Yeah, look, and that you've hit on something else there, Derek. Boring football, man. With the players that England's got, why are we so bloody boring? We've been like that. God, since I was a kid, man. There's very rarely that we've not been boring. Like even the 1990 World Cup, where we got to the semis and lost to Germany on the penalties. What people seem to forget is in our group matches we were crap. We were absolutely hopeless. We were boring. I remember all the headlines crying out, "We need a sweeper. Put Mark Wright on as a sweeper." And then eventually Robbie Robson did, and we started getting somewhere. But like what? It was in there. Look, we drew with Egypt and Ireland and all that. We were crap. And then when the knockouts started, what we have? Was it? I don't know. Was it Romania, Belgium, Cameroon, something like that? We never really shone. Against Germany, we did. I think we were a better team against Germany. We were unfortunate not to win, but you got 2 hours to win a game. But England constantly disappoint me. That's why, since I moved to Australia in '95, pretty much immediately, I like the cut of the Australian team's jib. That's why I like supporting Australia in the soccer over England. We're playing a friendly soon. I'm going to be going for Australia. Mr. Peter M, I have to give Jermaine Defoe a shout out. Yeah, why not? I like Jermaine as well. Hit the bar off script. Just want to say, well done, England in Rugby World Cup beating Argentina, even with the player sent off. Yeah, I'll probably gain a bit of interest in the Rugby World Cup when it gets to the pointy end. You know, I don't know what countries have got, and I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's you know, it's trying to make it a world sport where it ain't. You know, Chivers and Peter says Moondogs. Yeah, two players I haven't seen myself, man, but yeah. I hear Chivers and no, both those players. I hear many a person comparing them with Glenn Hoddle. You know, Lisa, hello, is this a new person? Big up, Paul. Watched your video earlier on Kane. Completely agree. Oh, thanks, man. Also watched England. So happy we have Ange now because that was boring. Yeah, I don't understand why England are so boring. And even in the David Beckham years, we just play the same. It'd be down the side, cross it in, down the side, cross it in, and like teams would be able to work that out and defend accordingly. But instead of us doing something different, no, down the side, down the side, far post, down the side, far post, and that was assuming you could get that far up the pitch. I don't know. England would be shit. We couldn't build a team around Glenn Hoddle for one thing. I mean, we kind of a bit built. I don't know if we actually built the team around Paul Gascoigne. I just think Paul Gascoigne does whatever he wants. So you can't. Oh, here we go. Gaz problem. Yeah, okay, Gascoigne, you're going to play on the right hand side. Well, even, and then he's just going to do what he wants anyway because he's brilliant. Yeah, that's it, man. Gareth Southgate is beige. He's like McVitie's digestive. It's all right. But it's not even a chocolate hobnob, is it? It's not a McVitie's. It's just no. You don't know. It's not even a McVitie's digestive because I quite like those. It's more like one of those. Oh, I forgot what they're called now because I haven't seen them for a while. Crackers. Is crackers the right word? Right word. So they came in Jacob's crackers. I'm trying to think of the English one. In Australia, they're slightly different here and smaller. But Jacob's crackers. I mean, who fucking eat a Jacob's cracker? I mean, it's not going to kill you. That's why it's not going to kill you. But you're not going to, oh, yeah, I'll just tuck in and play at Jacob's crackers. Which be totally agree, Paul. Thank you very much. Well, I mean, some people will, some people won't. Hit the bar, Southgate is a billion, yeah. Yeah, when he's wearing a waistcoat. Why, no. 1978. 1978 world champion wasn't fluke. It was champion plain and simple. No, I didn't say no. I know. I've sorry. Maybe I said that wrong. All the World Cups I can remember, which is like 78 was the first one I can remember. So since 1978, it's always been the champion. So I wasn't saying that 78 wasn't the champions. No way. 78, Argentina were the best team. But that's like the first one I can remember. So I'm saying since 78. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. Clear that one up. At the bar, it's Sweden, England are so workmanlike under Southgate. Yeah, some good results, but really good performances. Never beaten top opposition in crucial stages. Croatia, Italy, France losses all predictable. Yeah, the times where you think, right, this is a game that England wouldn't usually win, but maybe we'll win it this time. We always lose it every time. Always lose it. Those big games, always. Even again, I'm not. No, Croatia. No, I was going to say Croatia we could have beat, but no, I think Croatia are a better team than England, so I can't even say that. I can't remember a time when it came down to the crunch, a game that we usually lose, we'd actually won. And every team that's big and wins stuff has to do that now and then. Even if you're playing yourself out of a bit of bad form or whatever, you have to win those games. Maybe you wouldn't ordinarily win, or maybe you're just that good that you win all the games. But you can't get to that stage unless you start beating these teams. You've got to beat those teams you just put in your list there, man, like Croatia, France, and all that, Italy. Peter M. Maguire, for some reason, ran into Guerrero on his left and opened up the goal for Ukraine's opener instead of staying near his ground and closing off the shot. Is that what he left and opened the? See, I mean, look, at some point, doesn't he just get sacked? Really, for playing Maguire? I mean, does anyone think that's a good idea? Does anyone think? Because I'm not hearing any fan, any manager, any player, anyone. The only thing I hear saying is, well, you know, Maguire plays well for England, or you know, Southgate depends on Maguire. And even if those things are true, it doesn't make him the best defender in England, does it? There's better defenders than him. Yeah, Cockerel. That's got a bit of a, you know, bit something stuck in my throat, man. You know, I didn't get all the syllables out. Catch and Grandma. Southgate has managed to take a group of supremely talented players and make them look like they've never met before. I know there's absolutely zero chemistry or understanding between the whole lot, but I bet they're having like workshops and whiteboards. Hey, like now, let's. We've all been in these things, haven't we? Okay, now I've got what we're going to talk about is the main things that is going to achieve us success. So what's the most important thing, everyone? What's the most important thing? Well, kicking a football? No, no. Training? No, no. It's communication. We've all been there, haven't we? Been in one of those bloody arse things where people talk about communication without being very specific about what communication is. Duh. That's what England's like at the moment. It's like team building day. I just never put any effort into those things. I remember we had this works conference away for a weekend that they used to do every 2 years. It was a pain in the ass. So you'd be away for a weekend, and it'd just be all, you know, rah rah during the day, and then everyone would get wankered at night, and it'd be forced fun activities. And it was like, okay, well, and it was just split up by state, and one of it was fancy dress. Oh, New South Wales, you've got to dress as pirates. And I'm thinking, I'm not dressing as a fucking pirate. So my compromise was I went to a 50 or a dollar store. I was converting it. I was going to say a 50 pence store there. Like a dollar store, and bought an eye patch for 50 cents. And that was my costume. And one of the managers said, "Oh, you're not taking this very seriously, Paul." Yeah, no, I'm not. Because I used to find that, you know, you could stand your ground and nothing bad would happen to a certain extent. Because the only thing I really cared about was performance reviews and, you know, getting more money. That was it. More money, more money. Tip for you: anytime you're in a performance review, haggle for that extra 1 or 2% every bloody time. Because if you're there 5 years, that's a lot of money. Then people start resenting you because you're earning more. It's like, well, you know, argue your case. But yeah, that's what Spurs are like. Jamie, England are the most Spurs-like team on the world. Yeah, I'd actually agree with when I know what you're saying by Spurs. So it's not the way I use the word Spurs, but the common perception. I get you. Can beat the best on a good day and then lose to minnows. Yeah, we're not doing that this year though at Tottenham. Jacobs crackers. England are rich tea. Yeah. I wouldn't even go that exorbitant, man. I mean, because I like dunk it in a cup of tea. They're all right, aren't they? Rye Vida. There you go. England's like Rye Vida. That's like Jacobs crackers without the fun of putting on any weight. After a Jacobs cracker, because you've usually had it with a bit of cheese or something like that, a bit of Stilton, stinky blue, you can feel a bit decadent. With a Rye Vida, the whole reason you're eating it because you want to, you know, what are you going to put on that? A bit of margarine and celery. Oh, that's a tasty snack. Mark Cavill, England are boring due to the FA. Yeah, imagine if Brian Clough had managed England. We would have won a World Cup. at least. That would have turned around probably like 82. 82. He would have been there at 82, wouldn't he? I mean, he could have, in theory, been there at 78, but maybe not. But 82, he should have been England manager. Not Ron Greenwood. But, you know, he was the FA guy, so, you know, that's what they do, isn't it? You're sorry, perhaps if Eric? Oh, you know what? I'm not. Oh, no, I can't. There's too much of a delay. If Eric played, it would have made the game more interesting. I'm getting the feeling we've just talked about something and I've completely forgotten what we're talking about. Eric. I'm trying to think of any Erics now. Yeah, I'm having a mental block here, man. The only Eric I'm thinking of is Eric Cantona, but I'm pretty sure we were not talking about Eric Cantona. I haven't even had a musical cigarette. What's going on, Eric? It's gonna be. I'm gonna kick myself when you tell me. I know I am. Cream cracker. Southgate is more like Cars water cracker. See, like. That's the Cars water cracker. That's what we have here. But they're like smaller, you know. You know, you can put slab of Stilton on it, and that's all right. You know, I'm going to go Rivita, man. Cream cracker. That's the generic name. That's what I offered, Jacob. Yes, that cream cracker. Captain Graham crackers are that are missing a cheddar. Yeah, yeah. Derek Smith, the Argentine authoritarian military junta government who were using the 78 tournament as an opportunity for nationalistic propaganda and for relatively new military junta to seek legitimacy. They still won, though. Still the best team. And look, yeah, I say this about World Cups, Derek. Like, the problem with the World Cup is it has to be held somewhere in the world, doesn't it? And I think every regime, that's my own perspective. I'm a hippie man. I think I think power corrupts. I think governments all around the world have got blood on their hands, which I would love to be not a part of in any way, shape, or form. But that's life. And you're right, yeah, the Argentine authorities used it exactly for those reasons. But I think Argentina was still the best team, and they had Ozzy Ardiles and Mario Kempes. They were the difference. Every country uses it for their own ends, though, don't they? I mean, you know, even mildly, not the same. I'm not comparing this to a military junta, but politicians always jump on the sport wagon when it suits them, doesn't it? Over here, like during the World Cup, the Women's World Cup recently, started being this. All the state leaders and the Prime Minister say, "Oh, if we win the Women's World Cup, we'll have a public holiday." You know, they start, and then they don't give any funding. They don't give a shit about football in this country. It's like, you know, shut the fuck up, you lot, and piss off. That's what I feel about politicians. Any politicians involving themselves in sport. I don't like politics and sport mixing. I really don't. Sport is for us, you know. I know it's been taken over big business, advertising, bureaucracies, but when it comes down to when the whistle goes or the starting gun goes, it's sport, and that belongs to us. Hit the bar. England games would have been more entertaining if Dyer played, then ran off the pitch. That's right, man. Derek Smith. Match fixing, bribery, and corruption. That's what I meant. Oh, you know, I don't know, man. Look, I know there's question marks over the Peru game, but I think they're still the best team. Hit the bar. Maguire must have compromised with pictures. He must have, yeah, he's like a drawer full of Gareth Southgate on the job. Mark Howell, you won't get that for 50 pence now in London, mate. Yeah, I know, man. Smooth Andrew League is a dumb game. You know, I wouldn't say that. I've been getting more into it because you know, I've got to watch something. And the more it's, I think like with sports, the more you watch them, the more you appreciate them, the more you get to see what's going on. So I enjoy it, man. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Same with rugby. I suppose you're AFL then, are you? So, you know, I could say that's crap as well, but, you know. If you're good at your job, you have some power, says Peter M. Hence Kane's situation at Spurs where he was a leader. Yeah, he was a leader, man. Was a leader. Led us to nothing. Didn't see his armpits. Milton Abrega, morning, Paul. Morning, man. Hope you all, mate. Have a great Sunday. Thank you very much. Peter M. According to Swedish practice, you get pickled herring on a Riveda. Look, I like pickled herring. As long as it's not that real bad stuff they're talking about in a tin, Circumstrong or whatever it's called, where it's like being in Freddy Krueger's basement for 6 years before they put it in a tin. But I do like pickled herring. I like roll mop. Beautiful. Actually, you know what? You mentioned it now. Pickled. I get that. Pickled herring on a Riveda might be all right because there's a lot of moisture and like fish juicy goodness that would go into the cracker. So that's possible. Eric Idle. Eric Dyer. See, is that? Hang on, where's Lasarian's comment then? What did he say? I don't know if I'll be able to find it now. Lasarian. Perhaps if Eric played, it would have been made. Okay, right. Right, okay. Isn't that amazing, eh? So I'm like, Eric Dyer just doesn't. That's how little he sits. You know, when they say people say, "Oh, I'm sitting in your brain rent free." Shows how much Eric Dyer's in my brain. Cash Grandma, member of the Hotspur Hippie Commune, for super chats and memberships are available. I haven't said that for a while. Good news. Ash Phillips scored for England under 21s. Did he really? Against Switzerland. That's all right. Bad news from me. He got a knock against Bolivia. Well, here we go, man. Let's get the injury out of the way in defence early. Under 19s. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Eric Idle. Okay, all right. Eric Dyer. Okay, thanks, man. Not yet gone, but still forgotten. That's it. That's who? I literally could not think of another Eric. Joe Hong. Kane's comments just lack the kind of class. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, man. It did look. It did lack class, didn't it? And I think we get more class out of Sonny. I think Ange's showing a lot of class. You know, yeah, I think that's a nice way of putting it. Class and humility. The language show. What are you saying is an indictment of himself more than anyone else? Yeah. I agree. So we've gone away, Derek. We went away from Harry Kane, then we're coming back again. So we went to Argentina and Riveda. Hit the bar. Riveda is like eating a lump of wood. But maybe with a pickled fish on it. My interest is piqued by that because I do buy pickled, jar of pickled roll malt from time to time, and like on a sandwich, they're a bit too. It makes the bread a bit too soggy, and I don't often bother buying bread rolls. So what I'll often do is just unroll it and just do it like I don't know if you remember this program V from the early '80s with these aliens. They turn out to be reptiles that ate mice and shit. And you just go straight down like that. And it's nice, but I'm thinking because look, I'm turning my mind around on Riveda now because Riveda, it wouldn't go off for years, would it? Like bread and rolls, they only last a couple of days. But if you've got Riveda and you got pickled fish, that's a meal that never goes off. That sounds awesome. Shall we get? The penny snapped. Derek Smith, next you'll be telling us you like jelly. No. I've only had jellied eels twice, and both times I knew it. Well, one time I did, Chuck, and which is a story for someday. Maybe it's a story for now. In fact, it's one of the earlier. It's the oldest piece of clothing I own. I would get it. Maybe I'll wear it next time. But there was this place in London, maybe it's still there. This is the sort of early to mid '90s, called the Church near King's Cross, and it was It was, because we used to. I don't know, it's pretty changed now. We used to have really bad licensing laws on a Sunday. So you'd be out partying Friday and Saturday, and Sunday is like kind of bugger all because pubs weren't open until like 3 p.m. or whatever. But there's this place called the Church, which was a restaurant, or did some sort of raffle for beer where you always won. But it was one of the few places that I knew of that you could go and have a good drink and a party and everything. And they used to have like music and stage shows there, and a lot of Australians used to go there. And they I think might have been an Easter Sunday. There's this thing called an Iron Man competition where you go up on stage and you eat lots of things. And I went in on it. And what were some of the like? It wasn't like disgusting things or anything like that. It was like, okay, downing a can of VB quick, and I used to always be able to do that, so that was easy. And there's a couple of cans here and there, and like for the disgusting things you had to eat, there wasn't anything really bad, but the worst thing was jellied eels. Like, it was bar chocolate stuff like that. It wasn't like I was having to like drink sick through someone's underpants or something like that. It was But as soon as I ate the jellied eels, man, that's when trouble started. And then I had to do one more can, and there was a bin on the stage, and I couldn't handle it. So I just chucked my guts up into this bin. But I still ended up winning the T-shirt. So everyone in the crowd, right? This is the kicker of this thing. Everyone in the crowd saw me do this, debase myself, and I went straight down the front of the stage, off the stage, and women were all over me, kissing me and stuff. And I'm like, I mean, I'm a bit drunk, but I'm still thinking, what the? And it wasn't like, it was bottom of the barrel 2 a.m. George Michael's just got to come on, and I've got to do something now. This is like 1 in the afternoon. I was like, oh. So yeah, it was a weird old experience, but I did win a T-shirt that says I'm a fuckwit. But I don't know. There's digression, wasn't it? Mr. and try honey and Ryvita. See, I have a problem with honey, man. Honey, it doesn't matter what jar or container I have it in, it always seems to dribble out and get sticky somewhere. But I do like it, and it's very good for you. So honey Cavill. Herring's good for the joints. Oily fish. Well, that's a couple of joints in my hands are buggered, but maybe all the joints will be buggered. McDonald's burger will last 40 years, same as it ever was. It's a good song, that. Once in a lifetime. My favourite group, Talking Heads. Peter M. Sunday used to be a dead day in England. Yeah. It was bloody awful, wasn't it? So you'd find these places where you could have a bit of fun. What's really good is smoked eel. Yes, I go along with you here because I have that in. I've had that in Japanese restaurants. In fact, if I'm at a sushi place, smoked eel is something I'll definitely. It's very, very nice. It's just when you put it in with jelly that tastes like snot, like frozen snot. it's like no. My Polish man, my Polish mum, Jan Dobry, used to get it from the Polish deli. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Okay, so there's a few, because my own experience with smoked eel is Japanese, but okay, smoked eel, Polish. I'll broaden my horizons, Peter, and have a look for it. All right, well, I'll just check. I haven't missed any. I don't think I've missed any super chats or membership notifications or anything like that. Okay. All right, thanks. Well, that was a fun stream, man. That was a fun stream. We moved on from Harry Kane, just like Derek wanted. But it's nice to sort of talk about it, because it's nice to know I'm not alone in my opinions as well. I mean, not that it matters, it's only football. But yeah, I get a few people feeling generally the same way. Some people aren't. Some people, I'm on the broad spectrum of normal human emotional behaviour, which is sometimes comforting, but sometimes I don't really care. But there we go. Thanks very much for joining me, folks. Thanks for watching. If you've liked and subscribed, that's cool. Do what you want. And I'll see you a bit later. Might do videos. Nice day. So until then, Have I forgotten anything? I've said thank you, haven't I? Yeah, that'll do, wouldn't it? I'll be around next time. Peace and love, man. Peace and love, and come on, you Spurs.